was your 3-week vacation? We're back, people.
It's 2 weeks, actually. But yeah, my 2-week vacation.
I haven't seen you in 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, the vacation was great, but we're back for Give Us the Launch Codes. And
I'm Tom.
I'm Travis, and I don't know. I guess we'll just recap some things from August. We don't really have a definitive topic for this one.
We thought we'd just shoot the shit, folks. We haven't seen each other in 3 weeks, and we just wanted to have fun with this one and say, you know what? We're going to shoot the shit, talk about our vacations, talk about stuff we've missed, talk about things that have been on our minds.
I was on a 2-week vacation. It was a road trip, and my wife and I, we went to Las Vegas. And we only went to Las Vegas because we wanted to check out STLV, that is Star Trek Las Vegas. It's a big annual Star Trek convention there.
Oh, how was that?
It was great. And it was a pretty serious convention. We saw actors and behind the scenes people from Trek's legacy past. I got to meet Anthony Montgomery, who played Travis Mayweather on Star Trek Enterprise. That was
nice.
Which, the fact that his name was Travis on the show was really important to me when I was a 6-year-old. I got to meet Garrick Wong, who played Harry Kim, Star Trek's Forever Ensign on Star Trek Voyager. I even got to promote him because if you don't know, there's a joke with the Star Trek Voyager fans that Harry Kim, he starts off the show as an ensign and he never gets promoted throughout the 7-year run of that show. Meanwhile, his best friend Tom Paris, he gets promoted at the start of the show, demoted later in the show, and then re-promoted again. Tuvok even gets a promotion, but Harry Kim, he's in the freaking senior staff. He's on the bridge crew. He never gets promoted once, so it's we give him little pips, which are the badges that they put on to signify what rank you are. So it's we give him pips, and apparently the day we left, there was a whole parade of people just handing him pips.
Oh, that's cool.
In sequence.
That sounds cool, dude. That's just the start of your vacation.
That was the start of my vacation. Then we traveled to Austin, Texas to see Ghost live at the Moody Center, at University of Texas, which is in Austin. And then we traveled down to Houston to go see the Space Center. And then we headed back home. We drove through a dust storm in New Mexico on the way back home. That was pretty gnarly.
Good concert? I know you've talked about Ghost before.
Oh, yeah. It was a great concert. We had so much fun. We got earbuds. Those kind of... they're earplugs, but they have openings where it's they can hone in on whatever's the most...
It's like a filter note. Yeah, filter for the decibels. Yeah.
That made that is the most enjoyable experience I've ever had at a concert because I could sing along with the music and not blow out my voice because I could actually hear myself.
Well, if you think about it now, the way technology is at concerts, people need some type of hearing device to protect and also hone in because it's not like it was back then. It's no, there's speakers everywhere and they are blasting at a high professional rate.
Yeah, and when I went back to my hotel room, my ears were not ringing. That was the amazing thing. My ears, I did not feel my ears were adjusting, my eardrums were blown.
You didn't feel when you're playing Modern Warfare 2 flashbang? Did you happen to stop by Arlen, Texas?
I don't know where Arlen is supposed to be. Depending on the episode of King of the Hill you're watching, it could be near Houston, it could be near Austin.
It could be near the border. It's near the Texas-Mexico border.
You never know. Austin is everywhere and nowhere. Or not Austin, excuse me. Arlen is everywhere and nowhere in Texas. Wherever it is, there's not a lot of trees there. That's something
No.
There are parts of Texas that don't have a lot of trees, but certainly, the closer you get to the Gulf, there's a lot of trees. There's a lot of tree covering. Driving on the I-10, from, say, El Paso to Austin or Houston, there's a lot of, straightaways with nothing. So you really got to watch your gas tank because there won't be a gas station for a while. So you better fill up.
Gas up when you can.
You got to fill up at the right time. But there's just a lot of, beautiful hills of trees. And I just never get that when watching King of the Hill. So it's okay, that's going to be a different part of Texas. One thing that I lamented while I was on my trip, because I've done the road trip a lot. I used to have grandparents that lived in Houston. And so I did that with my family a lot. And something that's just a little piece of comfort is you stop at a hotel room for a night. and you just turn on the TV, you flip on the channels, you watch something to go to bed to. And I just had this feeling like there wasn't a whole lot that was good on just like normal TV anymore. And I don't know if that's like me getting older. I don't know. And actually when I was younger it was even more interesting because like most of the motels would have cable, and like I didn't have cable till I was 10. So sometimes I'd be able to watch stuff that I couldn't watch otherwise at home. But now it's like I look at what's on the reruns right now. Oh, I don't know, more SVU. It's like stuff that like I'm not really into this, and I don't know. Maybe it's because like all the new stuff that we watch now like is not going to be on normal TV anyway. It's on streaming, and it's never going to be rerun at all.
No, it's just going to be streaming only.
Yeah, so that was something I struggle with in the hotel room. The most interesting thing I watched on TV, and this is going to bring us into like a bizarre tangent.
I'm looking forward to it. What was it?
While my wife was in the shower, I was watching, it was like preseason Monday Night Football on ESPN. And it's just something in the background. You know, it's preseason football. It doesn't really matter anyway, so it's hard to get invested. But when the game was over, they switched it to SportsCenter.
This is SportsCenter.
It wasn't the normal SportsCenter intro. Like, normally it's like they would just seamlessly transition to Scott Van Pelt's doing SportsCenter at night. But instead, it was like SportsCenter graphics from like the late 90s with the old music that had saxophone in it.
What?
Because here's the thing: are you familiar with a sports commentary personality by the name of Rich Eisen?
I've heard the name, and I have to like watch it again.
So Rich Eisen, I've watched a few clips because he has like a 3-hour talk show that he does daily, and I've watched clips of it on YouTube.
Okay.
He's someone I admire. He's a sports talk guy that isn't like your Callan Cowherd types who are like, what can I say that makes me sound smart and the biggest hot take I can get? He just like seems like a really nice dad, and which apparently he's like a father in real life. But he used to be a host on SportsCenter way back in the day, way back during the time that graphic was created. Okay. And he then later left to join the NFL Network, but now he got a new contract. He's going to do stuff for ESPN again. So to, I guess, preview that, he was allowed to host SportsCenter again for just that night. And I guess he wanted to go for nostalgia, so they brought back, the old graphics, the old music, again, saxophones. and a very quaint old-fashioned intro tonight on SportsCenter, and with like a very witty summary of the day's highlights. And I'm a sucker. I love when I see like old graphics or retro style graphics in film and television. It's why I love the Stranger Things intro so much. I love when media can like recapture a look and feel of something from the past. It kind of gives it new meaning, and there's something fascinating about that nostalgia. So yeah, Rich Eisen's hosting SportsCenter, and he's doing this all by himself, and it's like, oh, it's kind of great, it's cute, and I like watching Rich Eisen's videos. He ends the show with a really like somber segment, because he used to, of course, host with, among others, but one of his co-hosts was Stuart Scott, who passed away 10 years ago due to cancer. And he kept repeating this phrase because the way they presented it, he was the only one hosting, but he was clearly at a table that was meant for two people. So he's sitting on the right side of the screen, and the left side was empty. And they finally tie it together where, he's sitting at his seat, and they have a graphic behind him of Stuart Scott that kind of makes it look like Stuart Scott's looking over his shoulder. And it was really sweet. He kept saying he should be sitting in that seat right there. And I didn't grow up watching SportsCenter when I was a kid. So, like, I didn't have this, like, emotional connection that I guess some people did with Stuart Scott when he was alive. But one thing, when I do think of Stuart Scott, the first thing I thought of was, do you remember a Disney movie starring Dwayne Johnson called The Game Plan?
Yeah.
It was like Dwayne Johnson is this superstar pro quarterback of a football team that's in the
Morris Chestnut's in it, right? Yeah, with him.
Was he in that?
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember it's like Dwayne Johnson is a football player and he finds out he has a daughter. He finds out he's been a deadbeat dad for 8 years, and the daughter is played by the girl from Corey in the House, if you want to go for a deep cut there.
You know what? That was one of my first date movies, like in middle school. I saw that.
The Game Plan?
I saw it. And guess what? I thoroughly enjoyed it.
But I thought of that movie because there's a scene in the beginning of the movie. It's like Dwayne Johnson's normal day.
Yeah.
He's in his luxury apartment. He's,
the penthouse suite, the montage. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And he turns on the TV because, like, in the movie, he's getting ready to play in it's not the Super Bowl for legally distinct purposes, but it's the Super Bowl. And he turns on the ESPN, and it's Stuart Scott. I guess his analysis and prediction of the game is not favorable to Dwayne Johnson. He has some doubts about whether Dwayne Johnson and his team can pull through for the champion. And Dwayne Johnson's like, shut up, Scott, Like, that's what, but, like, it's a cameo. It's a cameo that's relying on knowing, like, oh, yeah, Stuart Scott, big ESPN guy. Of course, he would be commenting on this. So, in effect, Stuart Scott was, if not the face, like, one of the main faces of ESPN back in the day.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
In the same way that, like, when you think of CNN, you think of Anderson Cooper. So then I had this thought, like, if the game plan was made today, it would obviously not be Stu Scott because he passed away. It would be fucking Stephen A. Smith. This is when I started to appreciate Rich Eisen's tribute to Stuart Scott. This is when I started to feel his sadness, a little bit of a sadness, because obviously Stu Scott was a close friend of his, and that's what he was touching about. But this is when I started to connect with that, because I was like, oh my God, the face of ESPN now is fucking Stephen A. Smith, a man who loves to hear himself talk. He is all about, what can I say that's like the biggest take, and how can I say it the loudest, and make everyone else around me look stupid. And it's just he's such a big ego and big mouth on that man. And now he thinks that maybe he can run for president in 2028.
And he dresses like a mega church pastor.
He dresses and talks like a mega church pastor.
And he thinks he could run too. Yeah, no, yeah. It was funny. I like how you said if there was a movie like The Game Plan, it'd be Stephen A. Smith. He was in Creed 2.
Case in point. Case in fucking point.
And Creed 2 was like, I think, 5 years old now or something like that. But he was in Creed 2 and he was giving Adonis like some bullshit's like mouthing. Like,
it's the same kind of thing where it's like, the sports expert has some doubts on our athlete protagonist.
And I'm going to give you a taste of what he did. I know you can't see it, folks, but just hear Travis's reaction. He literally, this is him looking at Adonis, Michael B. Jordan's character. He's looking at him, and then, because you're the camera, right? So I'm not looking at you. And then he's like talking to him, and he's like, yeah, but you did that in your prime. Looks right at the camera. 4 years ago. Swear to God. He's dissing the heavyweight champion of the world and saying like, yeah, but you won. And like, that was like 4 years ago. I'm like, fuck you.
Disney didn't even make that movie.
I know, but I'm just saying another sports movie involving an ESPN face. They have Stephen A. Smith giving Adonis shit.
So I just kept thinking like,
basically folks were saying fuck Stephen A. Smith, but yeah.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, well, it's just like Stephen A. Smith is everything that is wrong with sports media today. He is the poster boy, the cheerleader, the mascot of everything that's wrong with sports media. Because the idea in 2007, who would be the definitive? You need a character to be the representative of sports media analysis. You get a normal person. You get a guy who does SportsCenter. Stephen A. Smith doesn't do SportsCenter, but you get a guy that does like the sports equivalent of the evening news, the national evening news. I'm here to just talk about the sports. I love my job. I love what I'm talking about. I have a personality that's great for the camera, but otherwise I'm a normal, affable guy that you can trust and believe in. That was the idea in 2008, 7, whenever that movie was. Now it is, who is the loudest bastard with a microphone?
Who dresses like a megachurch pastor?
I'm going to, who's willing to make ridiculous statements like, I think Johnny Manziel is going to be the next Tom Brady, which would have been like the bad take from 10 years ago.
You know who I missed the most when it came to movies before 2009, who would be a cameo for the face of a sports analysis?
Yeah.
I forget his name, but everyone knows him by this.
He's gone. He could go all the way.
He's an older dude now, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Doesn't he do like the fastest 2 minutes in sports?
Yeah.
What is that guy? Like something Berman.
He was in the remake of The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, and he covered the game with the guards and the prisoners.
Yes, he's still there, and he does like Monday Night.
But the thing is this, folks,
yeah.
we forget his name, but everyone knows him by he could go all the way.
Whoa!
Yeah. No, when someone is able to dodge a tackle, and then back then there used to be a definitive face for like when it came to a sports cameo in any movie, even if it wasn't a sports movie, but there was a sports analysis in the movie happening. You know that guy, boom. It's different now because it would be just who's the loudest fuckface.
Yeah.
I like how you brought that. Like, yeah, we're talking about, it changed. Like, cameos in movies where involves an actual real life person doing the real life cameo has changed.
And like now, because I was thinking like, okay, when you think of sports media now, sports media personalities, what are like the top 5 people?
Well, one of them got fired.
Okay, I was going to mention Shannon Sharp. It's Shannon Sharp, just off the top of my head. Normal person. I watch ESPN more than I used to, but I'm not like a diehard viewer of it, especially because like Stephen A. Smith is on like every other show.
He's literally on every show. Fuck him.
Fuck him all the way. No, it's like Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. being the top of the list, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, even though Skip Bayless is not like, I don't know what he's doing now. He's not on TV anymore. And then the last one, wait, did I mention 4 or 5? Because I want to put Pat McAfee
Chris
in there
Berman. That's what I'm talking about. Chris Berman.
Berman's the whoop guy, yeah.
He could go. I looked it up right now on IMDb. But yeah, no, there's the
It's like Pat McAfee and then like...
You got Pat McAfee, Stephen A. Smith, the Herd dude, which I fucking...
Colin Cowherd.
I hate listening to him.
He's like an asshole.
He's such a douche. He is as pretentious and I know more than you do, like Bill Maher.
Literally, his commercials are basically bent on I know more than you.
Yeah, he's the Bill Maher of sports.
Oh.
Yeah, I said it.
I hate Bill Maher so much. I now actually feel sorry for Colin Cowherd now that you
I said it. I'm fucking... oh, God.
But again, yeah, okay, like Pat McAfee, Stephen A., I almost said Bill Maher, Colin Cowherd, and then like Shannon Sharp, and then for completely different reasons, Dave Portnoy.
Oh, God.
The guy who owns Barstool.
Was just basically
He's
eating
in
his
commercials now.
He's eating his own foot basically right now.
Barstool is weird to me.
Now it is. It used to not be.
What isn't Barstool? Wasn't Barstool supposed to be like
it's supposed
like a snarky news site for sports?
You know what what it is? It really at the beginning was basically the fraternity college dorm room version of SportsCenter, and that was the joke because. And I get it. It just changed into something else now. It's so such a sellout.
Portnoy wanted to make it like politically partisan for the Trump movement, and I'm like,
it doesn't make sense for sports.
Because isn't like sports supposed to be like a bastion, a safe haven where it's like. This is kind of why I got into sports because the real world news just made me so depressed for a while that I'm like, I just want to focus on sports. It's current events. It's stuff I can talk about with people without getting into arms and fights and like worrying that I'm going to lose friends over it. Like, why involve real world politics into that?
Yeah, that's what Portnoy did. Yeah.
That's what Portnoy... Why? What told him that was a good idea?
I know you can't see what I'm doing, folks, but Travis sees it.
He's rubbing his fingers with money, but like... Who told him there was money in that? Nobody, like, you ask any guy at a sports bar, like, they would tell you, Republican or Democrat, liberal, conservative, they just say, keep politics out of my sports.
But now he's doing that. No, because he's a sellout. Because he's a sellout.
But now he's on the train of, like, He's been doing the grift of like, well, Trump with all these tariffs and some of the immigration stuff, this is not what I voted for. Like, yeah, it was. Fuck you.
Yet at the same time, he's saying, don't say a bad thing about Jews. No anti-Semitism of any kind.
If you do, I will give you an all-expenses-paid trip to the Auschwitz tour experience, because that will somehow absolve you of your anti-Semitism. That's how that works.
No, yeah. It's I think it's the personalities, face, and how sports analysis is given to us, packaged and processed, is complete bastardization of what it used to be. It's just all corporate sellout shit.
It's all personality driven.
I would say
now.
the only one who actually has at least something of what it was back then is Pat McAfee to a degree.
Here's what I appreciate about Pat McAfee, and I understand why he rubs some people the wrong way. I mean, he's not always my cup of tea, but he's not at least doing the debate bro shit.
No.
His show is just, here's me and my group of friends, and we all like different sports teams, and we'll rib each other on that sometimes. But we're all just in it for the love and appreciation of sports, mostly football, because that was Pat McAfee's thing. That's what he did. He was a NFL punter, and we're all just here in love and friendship and appreciation. Yeah, it's like it just add a lot of machismo to that. But in the end, it's like not. There's no combativeness in the environment of watching the Pat McAfee show. There is when you watch First Take or Undisputed
Or The Herd.
or Colin Cowherd. There is in watching guys like that. But Pat McAfee's, that's not him.
It's not him going on Fox News to promote his future campaign for president like Stephen A. Smith has, like multiple times. It's like, dude, you're what the or have his own podcast within his podcast within the podcast.
Does Stephen A. Smith have a house that he goes to? Does he have a home that he goes to at night, or does he just live at the
Yes,
ESPN?
it's called his podcast studio. I said it.
He puts out so much media, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's married and has children, but like, does he have a life? Does he go on 2-week vacations? He certainly has a better ability to go on.
He has the money to do it.
He could go on a 4-month vacation if he has the money to do that. I'm sure his contract would allow him to do that if he wants to.
I don't think he believes in off season. In the off season.
No, whenever I can talk about the Cowboys and make fun of the Cowboys, which in my opinion, I think that makes him like one of the ultimate Cowboys fans.
The way he wears the hat all the time, I'm like, dude, are you a fan?
I think he secretly loves the Cowboys. He's a closeted Cowboys fan. He just cannot, like, in the way that like a lot of like when you hear about like people who rail against gay marriage so much, and then you find out they're gay after the fact.
It's him. He's a closeted.
He's a closeted Cowboys fan, and like
he has season tickets. He's a season ticket holder.
And like how we would rather talk about the Lakers. That's like a joke with ESPN in general, where it's like the Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder won the finals. Congrats to the Thunder. I mean, it's about time. You waited so long. And then, let's go back and talking about the Lakers. Let's go back and talking about like what. Let's talk about Luka Doncic's contract. Let's talk about the new ownership. That's way more important than, hey, look who just won.
You literally won, yeah.
And that's like the joke. Like ESPN does not care about the big final, the big kahuna of NBA games, the finals. They'd rather just talk about the fucking Lakers, who are like a glorified mid team at this point. And then of course, okay. Did you also hear like over my 2-week vacation, ESPN bought NFL Network?
Yeah.
In exchange for a 10% stake in the actual National Football League.
Yeah. A lot of sports things happened when you were gone and talking about.
And like, okay, yeah, well. Yeah, your Angels swept my Dodgers again.
Twice!
And then right afterwards, we swept the Padres, and then a week later, the Padres beat us 2-1 in the next series, and now we're like neck and neck for the division. So that stuff was going on.
I even texted you. That was the first time I texted you.
That was the only time you texted me during the vacation.
It was funny. For your 2-week vacation, I'm like this. I talk to Travis every day. He's with his wife on vacation. I'm not going to bother him. My dad tells me the next morning, hey, we swept him twice in a row. Had a text, hey, guess what? I hope you're having a great vacation because we swept you twice in the same season. At home and at your house.
And gave the Padres a division lead for one day. And then we put a stop to that right afterwards. Fucking Padres, man. ESPN got bought out NFL Network, and now, which they're going to integrate. First of all, everybody was like, oh my God, is there going to be commercials for Red Zone, even though the point of Red Zone is to not have commercials?
Advertising's everywhere.
You know that your reputation sucks that badly when that is the first thing everyone thinks of. Also, you know how earlier this year MLB announced that they were not going to have ESPN broadcast their games anymore? They might be softening on that, but I can definitely see why they went to that position, because most of the time you turn on ESPN, it is like football and basketball. Hell, the WNBA gets more coverage than MLB does, unless their name is Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge. The obligatory highlight reels, and then that's kind of it. There's not this over hyper exaggerated discussion on can the Dodgers do it again? Hey, what's going on with the Marlins? Why don't they want to spend money and win games? There's none of that. The MLB does not get nearly in that amount of coverage. The only coverage you can find that is maybe on MLB Network, but it's MLB Network, so you're not going to find that sort of critical, impartial discussion. And that's why I fear that's going to happen with ESPN. It's oh, you own part of the NFL, all right. Probably not going to get any hard-hitting journalism. And not that there was much to begin with, but definitely no chance of any hard-hitting journalism on the National Football League, even though there's a fuck ton of corruption in the NFL ownership. But so that happened. I could be wrong on this. Maybe this is the case somewhere else. Does any legacy media company own a stake in a sports league in the way that ESPN and broadly Disney now does with the NFL?
Paramount kind of now to a degree.
Okay, yes. Talk about that. Because that just happened, right?
That happened time of recording for this one, because we record in bulk, folks, about a week ago. And it was funny, I was talking about this with a coworker, how fucking mind-blowing this is. Paramount, for $7 billion, has exclusive rights to the UFC coverage. Mm-hmm. So if you want to watch any UFC match, Paramount Plus. Do you know how insane that is? Because when you think about it, $7 billion is not a lot.
That's got to be what Disney paid for to buy Lucasfilm, but adjusted for inflation.
The $4 billion, when Disney bought the rights from Lucas for Star Wars for $4 billion, that was cheap. That was fucking cheap. cheap ass. Cheap. Even
with all the shitty Star Wars TV shows that exist that are not Andor now, and movies, it's Disney's already made that money back.
Yeah, but if it's not Andor or the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, it's all made back.
Yeah,
because the thing about it is $7 billion and the juggernaut that UFC is. I was talking to a coworker. Shout out to you, Declan. I was like, "Holy fuck, that's a steal!" And he looked at me. He's like, "This." I don't think anyone realizes how much of a steal this is. Holy shit.
I mean, UFC is not nearly as big as
football.
And football,
but it's
basketball.
big. It's a big thing though, because
it definitely makes a bar liven up, because I've been to a bar on fight night where and I never know it's fight night. I just show up with friends or family and hey, we're gonna hang out at this bar, and it's oh, it's fight night, but the place is jumping.
Yes, I went to a coffee shop, when those fun late night kind of whatever coffee shops that were playing, that were showing the UFC night, and let me tell you, the place lost its shit. Because it was Conor McGregor when he broke his leg. Oh! I was there for that, and let me tell you.
Did people throw up because of how gross that was?
One girl did, for sure. Everyone else just was no! I was yo! Yeah. No, what I'm saying is UFC might not be in the sense of the money-making juggernaut that is the NFL. Mm-hmm. but is a juggernaut in the sense that when there's a fight night, it is the Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Like, you talk to your coworkers, they have their night mapped out to go somewhere, go to a party, or host it where it's like, we're watching this shit. The fact that it's just $7 billion, I know $7 billion is a lot of money, but when you think about the overallness of the long term, you're like, holy shit, does Dan White not have a good like agent or someone to negotiate? like does anyone not think about this? Like, how cheap it is?
Or maybe he's just swimming in money. It makes no difference to him at this point.
I guess he just wanted a new car. Just car money. But yeah, no, it's insane what's happening with sports where certain, like you said, the ownership rights or where to watch it, because you need now a Paramount Plus subscription service to watch UFC. What else happened while you're gone? Okay, here's something fun.
I should probably neglect that ESPN Plus is now just ESPN, but it's like a really expensive, like a HBO Max level price to get it.
I remember it went Max, now to HBO Max, and now all this.
So ESPN it's ESPN Plus. Well, now it's just the ESPN app, but but it's the ESPN. It's like the everything. You get everything and then some with it.
So while you were gone, I did a little family stuff. I was off for a week. What I did was I took my boys with my parents and wife to the Bolsa Chica wetlands. Saw some, just wild animals, having fun. Saw a few birds, pick up some fish and eat them. I'm like, damn, just picked up that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Then we went to the Aquarium of the Pacific. And I want to talk about this one because
I love the aquarium.
I do love the Aquarium of the Pacific. I think it's a big staple as a kid when you're a Southern California kid growing up.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're LA County.
So many school field trips to the Aquarium
of the Pacific is a Southern California staple. But here's what was interesting. One, if you're a child, which my boys are 3 and 1, it's just like, look at the shiny color animals, right? You know what I mean? Like
the jellyfish is like...
Oh, Thomas was all over that.
That is like an acid trip for 3-year-olds going through the jellyfish exhibit.
Such an acid trip. Here's something I noticed, and I talked to my wife about it. We had a great time. Mm-hmm. Just because as parents, you're just there for your kids, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
2 things that were interesting. One positive, one negative. The positive thing is, right when you walk into the aquarium, take a hard right and go into this little dark black room.
Oh, yeah.
You can paint your own 3D organically swimming in this digital tank fish.
Yes.
Thomas painted like 20. That's all he wanted to do. He's like, can I go back and paint fish? Paint fish. He painted a shark. He painted a school of, I think, could have been bass for all I know, sea bass. He painted barracuda. He painted that was fun, and it was really a sensory oriented for the kids. Even my wife and I painted a few fish. It was fucking great.
The Space Center in Houston has something similar where it's like your own spacecraft.
Oh, that's so cool!
And it's like one that goes to Mars or one that goes to the moon. There's different craft to choose from, and you can
paint it.
You actually do it on a piece of paper, so you could draw it with crayon, and then but there's a barcode. There's a QR code on the piece of paper. You feed it through a machine, and then it shows up on a screen. Yeah, they have something very similar to that.
That was cool. And then you walk around, and you're seeing animals, by the way, that are in the ocean. Various from all the way from the Arctic and Antarctica, through the tropics and, the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, and then even some in lakes and rivers. It's great. And it was cool to see them all. One thing that was weird, and kind of to me, it brings me back to how in my 30-year-old head, where more and more you get older folks, you hear that whole the times have changed kind of thing. Sometimes me and my wife would look at an exhibit and be like this. I don't think that green algae is part of the exhibit. It was not like it was supposed to be there. Some things looked a little too green on the perimeters of the tank. There was a couple of those moments where I'm like, I don't think that was initially part of the exhibit, but interesting. At least my kids are having a good time. But I just noticed, you notice some things where you're just like, And then one thing I didn't like, and again, you have a kid, so you don't want to ruin it for them, but I kind of took Thomas away. There's places where you can pet stuff, right?
Yes.
He petted some jellyfish, had fun. He petted I don't think a stingray.
Yeah.
Had some fun. Painted a starfish. Had some fun. There was the little shark area where it's like they're babies or they're actual just small sharks.
Yeah, I think they're teeny.
And he
tiny
went
sharks.
to go pet them, but I noticed something when I got to that whole little tank area that's open face.
Yeah.
They were all crowded under this one coral plant. And I was like this. Oh, is it feeding time? Like maybe they just got knocked in there. Seems like they were all just there because the guy in there was like, "Hey, you little guy, you want to paint a shark?" And it's like, "Hey, he's talking with my kid." Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Tom's is being engaged by a stranger in a professional way.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah." So we get him up there, and I look at him like, "Oh wow, are they all feeding? Maybe we shouldn't bother them." The guy kind of notices my face of questioning. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, they're fine." And here's the thing, folks. Everyone knows for just sharks specifically, if they ever go backwards, they drown. Sharks have to continually propel forward to breathe. This motherfucker gets one of the sharks by the tail, yanks it backwards for my kid to pet, and I was like, the fuck? Thomas petted it twice. I'm like, thank you. Picked him up, walked away. I'm like, hell no. You don't pull an aquatic animal backwards because of how gills operate.
The only thing I can
Hope to
cling on to is that surely there's something about that shark, because we're not marine biologists. Maybe there's something about that shark we don't know, where there's exceptions. Or
it was just a weird thing to see him yank it backwards by the tail with some tension.
And I'm of the attitude, let him move around. That's why I like the fact that I have a yard, unlike my last apartment, because I didn't want to have a dog until I had a yard, and well, there he is right now,
barking and rolling. So that was a weird thing. Other than that, though, great day at the aquarium. And now to get to a funny thing, because I had a lot of time on vacation to catch up on watching stuff, family moments. We had a family movie night while you were gone, and this really got my brain going because of how much movies and TV I watched as a kid. Mm-hmm. We watched Bug's Life on Blu-ray.
Nice.
Bug's Life is
great movie.
Probably one of the top 10 animated films of all time for computer animation.
It's so good.
It's so good. And so we're watching it, and you forget how it starts, and it's beautiful how you do this pan wide shot, then zoom in of the Bug Island. Mm-hmm. And it's great, it's awesome, and it's ant stuff. They're picking food. Tater Tot says hi, everyone. They're picking food, for the offering. And you watching the movie more and more, and as you're watching it and I'm watching it as an adult, I'm like, wow, Bug's Life is just such an adult-themed movie where it's about, hey, remember, there are more of you than there are of them.
It's a movie about seizing the means of production.
Yeah, really.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
And it's one Hopper, voiced by Kevin Spacey, which, by the way, remember how you said, and I think this will come out after this episode, you say that Revenge of the Sith aged too well with some of its themes?
Yeah.
It aged too well, Kevin Spacey playing a villain. It has aged too well because, first of all, he is the only thing worth watching in Superman Returns because he is an amazing Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He is an amazing Kaiser Soze. Mm-hmm. He's amazing in Seven.
Yes.
He's
great at playing very bad people.
And intelligent. House of Cards. He is 4D chess villain.
Yeah.
And when Kevin Spacey voicing Hopper in Bug's Life, I'm just like, holy shit, what a villain. Here's the thing. The main character is Flick, and he's the invention guy. Ways to make it easier for the common man harvesting the crops. Mm-hmm. And his invention accidentally destroys the offering, and it falls into the river.
Yeah. Work in progress.
All the food's gone, and when all the ants are huddling in their little auditorium, they come, they eat, and they leave. They come, they eat, and they leave. They hear the grasshoppers come in, and they're like, "Hey, where's the food?" And then here's the thing: the ants have an entrance. The anthill has an entrance, a very visible entrance. No, you know what the grasshoppers do? They smash the ceiling with their feet. The boot. Their boot. They bring down the boot, basically. That's the metaphor. They cave in with the boot, and they come in, and the grasshopper's like, hey, where's the food? Yeah! And then when Hopper lands, silence.
Stops. Yeah.
And then he just walks around like he's just the big dick in the building. Just walks around, not even looking, just literally wagging his dick. And then the best part, so where is it? Where's my food? And the echo. And then when Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, the princess, tries to
Princess Ada
tries to explain of like, well, isn't it up there? Isn't it?
She tries to play dumb.
Like, excuse me, do I look stupid to you? Huh? Why would it be down here in your level looking for it?
In the realm of Disney villains, he's kind of up there with Claude Frollo, where he goes kind of beyond the line of comfort. For like a children's movie where he's like, oh no, he's like genuinely bad. Didn't you say he murders 3 of his own guys?
I'm going to get to that. There's a line he says when he's talking to Princess Ada. By the way, his introduction scene where he says, oh, so under new management, so it's your fault. First rule of leadership. Everything is your fault.
Someone needs to tell the Trump administration that.
But someone needs to tell anyone in leadership that. When a villain says that line.
Yes.
And then he has a mad dog, what was it? Hopper. No, not Hopper. What's the mad dog? Thumper.
He's a grasshopper, but he's effectively like a rabid
locust. No, he's a locust.
Oh, that's what he is.
That's what that. So it's.
I thought he was just a really fucked up looking grasshopper.
Hopper leads a gang of grasshoppers, which I think is a metaphor for a motorcycle club when you think about it sometimes.
Well, the movie is kind of like a riff on the Magnificent Seven. Yeah. So they're like an outlaw gang.
I feel like the grasshoppers are motorcycle club.
Sure.
But Thumper is a legit locust. That's why he's on a zip tie leash.
Yes.
A plastic zip tie leash. And he's still being held by 2 guys. And remember how he scares Dot? Like, oh, you don't like Thumper, huh? And he holds her by the skull.
Like, really strange noises.
Yeah. But anyway, you watch the movie further. Obviously, Flick goes and tries to find, warrior bugs, and it's a joke because it's the circus people he goes into. But to jump forward to your point, because again, I'm watching this as an adult with my boys, with my toddler children. When we get to the grasshopper base, to prove a point, because some of the grasshoppers are like, I don't want to fly back. Like, who cares? Just some dumb ants. Hopper comes back hearing this insubordination, and he's like, you know what, guys? We're staying here. Order another round. Yeah, who cares about that? But you know what?
There was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss, they're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding?
Well, how about this?
And then he just breaks the bottle.
And then you see,
smothers a guy.
but here's the thing, though. In a Pixar movie, you watch 3 men die from an avalanche fall. They get crushed to death, and
you don't see them get up.
And Thumper has this deadpan, annoyed expression of, I have to deal with this insubordination right now. And then he has that big speech, what you said, like, let this be a lesson. When one ant stands up to us, they all stand up.
He has the psychotic CEO speech.
That is the most workers unite against someone's speech you need to hear, because it's like
it's how you could tell Pixar was not owned by Disney yet. That movie was just licensed to Disney.
Yeah, it's the most holy shit. That's what they think about us at the boardroom meetings conversation of the workers.
Oh yeah.
And then the movie goes on. The scariest moment, and my oldest son, my youngest was 1, so he doesn't know scary themes yet. It's just colors and show. My oldest hid behind a blanket with my mom.
The fog scene.
When they're like, the ants desperately try to collect food. They're freaking out. It's like, what do we do? I don't know. We're screwed. We don't know. And then you hear the zzz. And then you hear this, and I'm going to put my microphone to my feet.
That's too loud. It starts soft, and then
the grasshoppers do the psychological warfare in a kid's movie. They come out through the fog with light stomps, and then they come through the fog with this menacing look of, we're going to kill every last fucking one of you. And then Hopper just comes out with a jump scare, carrying the food with his bare hands, this big pile of food of like, this is all you gave me.
Well, because it's not a big file of food.
But the size of him, though, when you think about it, like he's carrying weight, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a lot of weight for him, and he's just like this, I give you one more chance, and this is all I get. Not one ant sleeps until I get every scrap of food. And then you hear plots he's going to kill the queen. He beats the shit out of Flick when the plan of the bird goes to hell. And then he gets fed to a bird. Watching this whole thing reminded me of another Bugs movie that came out the same year, Travis. We're going on such a tangent right now, folks.
Speaking of sex perverts being in movies.
Kevin's back. I know, yeah.
Starring Woody Allen in
Ants was DreamWorks. And here's the thing, folks. When you watch Bug's Life as an adult, it's literally about stand up to the 1%. Stand up to the 1%. Stand up to the oppressors. Stand up to your quote-unquote, your masters. Workers unite. There are more than them.
You have nothing to lose but your chains.
Ladies and gentlemen, that year, like I said, the same year Bug's Life came out, another computer CGI animated kids bug movie came out called Ants, starring Woody Allen, Sylvester Stallone, Gene Hackman, Christopher Walken's in it, plus Jennifer Lopez, which still I keep forgetting. Ants is basically about eugenics. Bad. When I watched Ants as a kid, it didn't click, but watching it again as an adult, I'm so glad my kids haven't watched Ants yet, because I'm like, this is a hardcore film. Ants is hardcore. It is so adult.
It's a pretty unhinged movie. It was the pre-Shrek era of DreamWorks where Jeffrey Katzenberg was just trying to like rip off Disney, and with some successful attempts. Like Prince of Egypt is pretty good.
Oh, dude.
It's like, we should have our own epic musical. But then they come out with Shrek, and they're like, all right, that's the direction that we're going in now. It was just DreamWorks Animation is the product of a former Disney animation studio head.
Oh yeah,
who got butthurt that he didn't get picked for the promotion by Michael Eisner. So he's like, well, I'm going to start my own animation studio, and I'm going to do it better than you guys are. That's why Lord Farquaad in Shrek is supposed to look like then Disney CEO Michael Eisner, but with hair. And that's why he has the name Farquaad. Ha ha.
And I like how you said Shrek. There was a Shrek marathon we watched with the kids, 1 and 2. We didn't get to 3 because they had to go to bed. Wow, such an adult film too. At the same time, when for Lord Farquaad has a boner in one scene, like a straight up boner. Yeah. But anyway, going back to Ants, when you watch Ants, okay, so in Bug's Life, it's the colony. And the way there's dialogue, like, hey, my dad has $5, you'll die in 5 minutes. Like, you can tell the colony is made up of multiple families under a queen. In Ants, it's straight up everyone's a brother and sister, and it's like, wait, hold on,
it's more anatomically correct
about Ants, which is true. But the thing is, after you see the scene where the queen is just giving birth to a ton of fucking children, and then you realize, wait, Woody Allen's character is trying to have sex with his sister, Sylvester Stallone's character is trying to have sex with his sister, and Gene Hackman's character is trying to rape his sister. It's so ancestral, where it's like, holy shit, and then Gene Hackman's the villain. By the way, Gene Hackman is a great voice actor.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He played Lex Luthor, which is funny. Kevin Spacey played Lex Luthor. And Gene Hackman playing the villain in this Bugs movie, he is literally talking about cleansing the anthill. Yeah. He's literally talking about culling the herd. He's talking about eugenics, pure blood, the strong. And it's like, this is a kid's movie, and we're talking about fucking, like, genocide.
Yeah.
And he does it by having a coup, by staging I love how you brought what we've lived in and how we talk about stuff and we've talked about in the past. He stages a fake war to send 95% of the army to. They have a peace treaty with the termites, and he makes up a bullshit kidnap policy, like, no, the termites came and kidnapped the princess. We're going all out war. So he sends 95% of the military. And the thing is, you're just like, oh, because it's a funny thing, because Woody Allen's character is like this. I want to be different. I want to be an individual, man. Like, talking like Woody Allen, you're like, I just feel like I'm a person, and I want to try something. So
be careful that you don't do a Christopher Walken accent.
It's almost like they're both in the movie.
You gotta have that like New York Jewish thing going.
They're both in the movie. They're both New Yorkers.
Well, okay,
that's what's funny. But the thing is, Sylvester Stallone character plays his army buddy who's in the army, and they switch positions to be like, yeah, I'll break some rocks for you. some of those worker girls got a nice butt because Jennifer Lopez has a great ass. They switch places, so he accidentally goes to war in his buddy's place. And what's crazy is, so everyone remembers the fun kids song we all learned growing up. You know, the ants go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. There's a scene with Woody Allen's character marching with the army, but the tone it gives is just like, is this going to be a war scene? Because when he looks up at some of the ants who can fly, it sounds like, you know, apocalypse now, helicopters going through the air. You're like, what the fuck? And then when they get to the anthill, you just hear charge, and they swarm the termite colony. When they finally get to the termites, the entire army swarms it into 4 columns. Remember when they meet in the middle, and they're just like all quiet, and they're like, well, where is everyone? I don't know. Like, is it a lie? And you're like, oh my God, like, what's going to happen? And then they turn around. One guy gets completely cut in half by a termite that literally looks like this gargantuan space monster. And then the general just says, attack.
Was that the year after Starship Troopers came out?
I think it was. So literally it's mimicking Starship Troopers, because for about a minute and 30 seconds, you're watching on a PG kids movie, a full-on war where acid is being sprayed and melting bodies. Guys are being sawed in half. Termites are being stabbed to death. Like, it's complete war. It's like honestly, when you watch the Battle of Helm's Deep for the first time, it's that epic and graphic.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking kids film, and it boggles my mind. I'm like, I watched this how many times growing up? I'm like, oh, this movie is, there's other themes, by the way, in this film that I skipped over, but it's a very adult movie. And it makes you think, like, one, DreamWorks and Pixar will never make films like this ever again. It's just that time has come and gone. But it's interesting to think that when we were younger, we watched some heavy themed movies as children.
I've never been an Ants fan. I think I've only seen it a handful of times, and I just kind of blocked it from my memory because I was like, you know, why are we watching this? Bug's Life exists, and the characters and the design of the characters in Bug's Life.
It's way better.
They're just the movie overall is just so much better. The characters are less weird and creepy. Like Woody Allen, the Woody Allen character in Ants is like kind of creepy.
It's pervy,
which makes sense in retrospect. But just, you know, there's none of that going on in Bug's Life, and there didn't need to be any of that like weird shit going on in A Bug's Life.
No,
actually, it was weird with A Bug's Life. I guess this just shows like maybe like how intelligent I was as a kid, that I could put things together without like fully being able to articulate or really understand. But like, I always in my head equated the this is a Star Trek thing. I don't know if you'll understand this, but I always equated the grasshoppers to the Cardassians in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and specifically Hopper to Gul Dukat, who was kind of like essentially the main villain of that whole show. Similar thing where they're like, both were like oppressive, brutal leaders, but also had that like smooth charisma about them. Hopper had some charisma.
Oh, he had level 10 charisma.
Yeah. Oh, he could. I mean, he could probably charm any of the lady ants into sleeping with him if he wanted to, you know. I think he killed the king in that film. That's my fan theory. Oh, okay.
I think that's how the ants became into servitude with them. He killed the king.
Interesting.
But he pretended it was another bug, because remember how he says, like, if you don't hold up your end of the bargain, I can't protect you, and there are other insects out there who will take advantage of you. I think he killed the king to get that deal going. Swear to God, I do.
The classic abusive relationship of you will not have it any better than with me. And on Deep Space Nine, the backstory is like the Cardassians ruled over the race called the Bajorans. Again, with kind of a brutal iron fist kind of way, and but by the series start, the Bajorans did finally have their liberation. They drove the Cardassians out, but the Cardassians, I don't know, something like in terms of how they talked, but also kind of how they look, because they had like the grasshoppers kind of had this like armored look about them, and the Cardassians had their military uniform is something kind of similar. I don't know. It's hard to describe in words. You just have to like Google both of them to like maybe understand why those two things are in my head. But as a kid, I didn't I find that interesting because I feel like, especially with Hopper and Dukat, I feel like both those characters were on very similar wavelengths.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, oh, there's a lot of similarities between these two characters, and just like, as I said, Hopper could probably bed one of the ants if he wanted to. Well, in the case of Dukat, he did bed a lot of Cardassian women rape.
I like how you brought that up because even though Bug's Life is the better movie, in Ants, Gene Hackman's character, the general playing, the bad guy is the general.
Yeah,
he had that same thing. Like he ruled with brutality, but there was an intelligence that you were like, damn, dude, you thought of this all yourself to plan a coup, and you got your loyalist with you, and you were able to, and he knew he wanted to force himself onto the princess.
Yes.
Like he was trying to. It was like, wow, and that's what's cool. Villains back then, I hear this a lot with some dumbass fucking YouTubers because they're not. I think they go about it the wrong way. But like the villains back then, it wasn't that this whole thing of like, oh, they're a villain because of their environment. It's like, no, they're a villain because they are a villain, yes, but the intelligence of like, you cannot argue how genius their plan is, and that's why it's so evil.
Yeah.
Hopper killing 3 of his men to prove a point is genius. Gene Hackman's general character in Ants staging a fake war to wipe off 95% of the military so his loyalists have complete control is genius.
Yes.
And the whole tricking of like, oh, we're going to build a new waterway structure to help, remember the dam project. But no, it was to drown the entire colony.
Yeah.
How genius is that? Like these are the general messed with the populace on 2 fronts: fake war, fake building project. Yeah. And as an American kid, we were well enough to aware that something was wrong during 9/11.
Yeah.
That our country was sent into a bullshit war.
And 2 of them, actually.
2 of them, when you think about that. And then also to the bullshit, how not that we have this fake project that we tried to build that end up biting us in the ass, but just how our infrastructure is completely just fucked.
Yeah.
And how we've had a lot of disasters happen, like, Deepwater Horizon, where it's like, that could have been prevented.
Yeah.
Even was it 3 Mile Island in our past before these movies that could have been prevented. It makes you just think of like these villains were, the intelligence was to fuck with the everyday man.
Yeah.
And I also like, as a little like pop culture thing, both villains of both these bug movies involving ants, they're actors who played Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor is one of the top 5 greatest comic book villains because of how intelligent he is.
Have you seen the new Superman yet?
I'm waiting till it comes to streaming because of like Sinners, it'll be at streaming way faster than it will in theaters.
Well, I've seen it now 3 times. I actually saw it a 3rd time on vacation.
Can I say something before you go on your tangent?
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I really love right now that you brought up you saw it 3 times. You want to know why? My cousin has seen it 5, and a guy she is starting to date has seen it 7.
Damn.
And their next date will be 8. So for him, 8, for her 6. No, but when you think about it, you brought that. I'm glad. I think a lot of people right now with Superman are seeing it multiple times, which is just interesting. Not because it's a Superman film, not because it's James Gunn, but because people are doing that to the movies now. Because back then, my dad saw Ghostbusters 6 times. I saw Finding Nemo 5.
Yeah.
Is coming back. That thing about, not that one, like I said, I'm waiting until it comes on streaming to see it because it'll just be so fast, whatever. But the fact that when people go to the movies, they are actually now going to the movies. When they go, they go. And I like to hear that that's coming back. I'm trying to see Weapons the Sunday before Labor Day with my wife because as a parent, I'm really more interested in those movies where it involves the unfortunate tragedies of children. That's just me right now as a parent. I'm in that mindset where like I just want to see it. Like I want to be in that mode. It's almost like when I saw Prisoners before I had kids. It's like that Prisoners, everyone needs to see that as a parent. This one I want to see because like, as a parent, Jesus Christ, what's happening to these kids? I'm curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, go on with your Superman.
Well, the Lex Luthor in there is like played by Nicholas Hoult is
Great
fucking
actor.
Fantastic. He is like the ultimate hater. He just he fucking hates Superman. He is willing to like fucking wreck the planet just to like destroy Superman in every way possible. It's kind of beautiful to see like how much hate one man can have.
It's literally, I will burn the forest just for you to get a 3rd-degree burn mark.
Yeah, and it gives me a lot of appreciation about like Lex Luthor as a character throughout the years, and the way that his master plan is carried out. There's a lot of aspects where it's like, well, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek, comic book movie because it's James Gunn. The way Lex Luthor carries out his plan, there's you go, oh, that resonates. That hits, like how because it's not just like I did this all by myself. Like he conspired with people in other places and other areas and manipulated people, all for this plan to just fuck over Superman.
I heard from someone say that Lex Luthor is not someone you want to work for, but if so, at least he'll keep morale up because he will hype you up as a boss.
Yes. I think he said like he wanted to play it like he said like alpha. He's essentially like, it's funny, like I heard someone joke he's like a less evil but much smarter Elon Musk.
Wow. I have loved the interpretations of Lex Luthor throughout the years because Gene Hackman was the first big screen Lex Luthor.
Yep.
Killed it for all 4 movies, but the first 2, like it's just great to watch them. And then when you go to Clancy Brown. I don't know why I said Tom Clancy. I have been Thomas likes submarines, so we actually have been watching a lot, rewatching Red Hunt for Red October a lot.
That's a great movie to show to your kids. Unironically,
it's actually one of the greatest films ever made. The speeches, the fact that that's by the way, that movie's the reason why I want to go to Montana before I die.
Okay,
this movie's the reason why. That movie's some of the lines. Come on, Big D, fly. Mr. Thompson, call Chief Watson to the comm with his sidearm. That scene sucks the air. Mm-hmm. Oh god! But anyway, Clancy Brown, what he did with Lex Luthor in the Superman animated show, Batman animated show, and then Justice League Unlimited, and then even the other animations of the DC heroes that have come on Cartoon Network. Mm-hmm. Clancy Brown just fucking knocked it out of the park. Like that when Lex Luthor is in an episode, it's just the greatest episode. Both of the series finales for Justice League and JLU.
In the end, Clancy Brown he's it's like with Kevin Conroy. Like I read Batman, I read it in Conroy's voice. I read Lex Luthor in a comic, I read it with Clancy Brown. Yeah, and I can't say that about a lot of comic book characters at all.
No. Because Superman, the voice is just as long as I feel safe voice. It doesn't matter who. Because Superman actors and voice actors have all had that voice, so that's different. But Kevin Conroy and Clancy Brown
no disrespect to Tim Daly, but
no, these two did something. But when it comes to Lex Luthor, in all the show, he was genius because it was all proper, calm, controlled corporate rise, and then being the president. And the way he manipulated the villains, even the way he it's
and he's also like a classic villain, the classic case of like super genius. The only thing that gets in his way is not the hero, it's his own arrogance. Yeah. His own arrogance fucks him in the end. Over the vacation, I read Birthright by Mark Waid.
How was that?
The weird thing about Superman origin stories is that the origin story has been told so many times that it kind of says more about the author and the time it was written in than it actually says about the story, if that makes any sense. But Birthright was written, it was published between 2003 and 2004. It's clear Mark Waid liked Smallville, because he really leans into the idea that Superman and Lex Luthor were friends as teenagers.
Okay, interesting.
Except they fudge it to where Lex Luthor actually did go to high school with him, whereas in Smallville he's already in his 20s, but he's palling around with a bunch of teenagers, which is a little weird.
But that makes sense for a villain, that creepiness.
So you would think, and the book sets up with this expectation that when Superman and Lex confront each other, Lex is going to recognize him immediately, and it's going to get very personal. No. Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor is portrayed as like he is the nerd that everybody picked on, except he's not a good person. He was an egomaniac. Probably it was a reason why people picked on him, honestly.
He deserved it. He was asking for it. He deserved it.
He was probably asking for it. Such a mad genius. He's like, I'm better than everyone. I'm going to leave this hellhole behind. And I guess, I don't know if it kind of leaves it up to the interpretation of whether he had memory loss or he's just like that much of an ego. He did do, like, as a kid, he did an experiment that eventually, like, burnt his whole house to the ground and killed his dad.
Wow.
Yeah, involving kryptonite, no less. But he eventually becomes, innovator, tech billionaire guy, Lex Luthor. He meets Superman. He doesn't recognize him. When Clark Kent interviews Lex Luthor, he's like, hey, Lex, it's good to see you again. Remember our days in Smallville? Yeah. And Lex is like, I think you have me mistaken with someone else.
Damn.
And Lex never admits or acknowledges his past
because of his ego
at all. Yeah, his ego prevents him from doing that, and therefore his ego prevents him from recognizing, remembering Clark Kent, and then recognizing Superman without the glasses as Clark Kent. And it's interesting.
I think the greatest. Well, just speaking about comic book villains when it comes to superheroes and supervillains, the greatest dynamic and oh God, I don't know why I'm forgetting the word. Being an arch nemesis, basically, the greatest dynamic of that is if there's a Cain and Abel feel to the two.
Yeah.
It really is, because really, Superman and Lex, Joker and Batman, and both of them being DC, but two of the greatest comic book rivalries of all time. That's that Cain and Abel feel with it, just a little sprinkled in. It really is when the brain and the brawn come head to head. Because they're so maxed out on brawn, so maxed out on intelligence.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the greatest things to watch. And you got to cast those right. And all those men who have been casted in those roles have just been.
Yeah.
That's what's.
Well, not all of them.
One.
Not Lex,
one. Just one.
Not Lex Luthor and not Jared Leto.
Hey! I like how you brought that up. Sorry.
Well, so you said Lex Luthor and Joker. I'm like, okay, not every Joker.
Okay, well, you know what? I keep trying to forget Suicide Squad.
And you know what? If we're going to include voice acting, sorry, Brent Spiner, but you just were not it in Young Justice. Sorry. You tried. I maybe you were too afraid to do just another like lore from Star Trek The Next Generation. I think you'd have just been better off doing lore, but you did this other weird thing with your voice that just didn't work. Now you want to talk about the Joker of Star Trek? It's Data's evil twin brother.
Oh, sorry. When you said book, and now it clicked to me what I've been reading. I've been reading a graphic novel. I got it because of my uncle got it for me. It's called From Hell.
I've heard of From Hell.
Alan Moore, guy who did Watchmen.
Yes.
Basically, it's a take on Jack the Ripper that I think everyone needs to read, because it's not about Jack the Ripper. It's about serial killers and getting into the mind of that. And basically, first of all, it's detailed. Like, fuck me, you see a lot of vulvas.
Ooh.
And this is like the 1600s England. You see a lot of like hairy. But it's detailed, but for a reason. And the whole, I know I'm just skipping. I'm not thinking about books, and now we're just moving along to something else tangent-wise. Why you should read this is because what I'm almost done with it, but what I've gotten from Alan Moore about his take on Jack the Ripper, the most famous serial killer of all human history.
Yeah.
He's like this because he was just born a very, very curious boy who just really wanted to dissect the world. Out of curiosity, no evilness, no malice. He's not mean. He's a really good husband in this adaptation. A proper gentleman, takes care of his coworkers, gives people the time of day if they ask questions. Isn't a dick at all.
No.
He even treats his valet like a friend. But it comes down to this guy has this level of curiosity for women that's not creepy. It's predatorial, but it's not creepy, it's not sexual, it's not disgusting. It's just the fascination that women have this light inside them. And he doesn't want to diminish it. He wants the world to see it.
Yeah.
And he does that through carving and butchering them. You got to read it, dude.
Okay.
When you talk about books of what you're saying, I'm like, dude, I swear from hell, my kids are not allowed to read that until they're 15.
No.
Fuck, it's so graphic. It's so detailed in the way he until he quarters this little woman, his last victim.
Yeah.
The way he quarters her. Holy shit, the detail in every page and every panel. By the way, there's time traveling in this one.
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't know how to explain it without ruining it, but like there's a time travel moment where you're just like, I don't know whether to clap at this monologue or not, but holy shit, it's coming out of Jack the Ripper's mouth.
You're talking about Jack the interesting takes on Jack the Ripper. There's an episode of Babylon 5. Seems like a lot of science fiction franchises that have their own take on who Jack the Ripper was. And on Babylon 5, Jack the Ripper was kind of like a disorganized, like a less interesting disorganized version of John Doe from Seven.
Okay.
Where he's like, the world is degenerating. It's like I'm killing prostitutes to try to like. It's like a cry for help. Like something had to be done. A message had to be sent. Well, then he gets picked up by like the Vorlons, who are kind of like the ancient first one aliens within that universe, and he becomes he takes on the role of like they call him the Inquisitor. So it's like no, you're ours now. We're gonna use you for our purposes. If there are people that, because the Great War, the conflict against the shadows that happens every couple thousand years. It's about to start up again.
I like that, conflict against the shadows. That's a cool saying.
Yeah, yeah. So like, and they're shadows with a capital S, because that's literally what they're called. We need people of the younger races to fight on our side, and we need you to figure out who is like worthy. That they send the Inquisitor to like put our main character Captain Sheridan as well as Delenn through these tests, and eventually they pass, because it's basically kind of like one of the characters is like, I'll give up my life, just let him go.
Yeah.
I'm willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. Oh, really? Okay, you pass. And so then there's a final confrontation where Captain Sheridan, and his name is Sebastian, but he's Jack the Ripper.
Right.
The Inquisitor. He's like, hey, I looked you up. You disappeared shortly after the last Jack the Ripper murder happened. And he's like, yeah, I did it. I was having a cry for help, but the Vorlons picked me up. They gave me a new purpose, and they kept me, preserved in stasis for so long. It's been like 400 years at this point.
I have done 400 years of penance in their service. A job for which they said I was ideally suited. Now, perhaps, they will finally let me die.
I think that might be wise.
It's like a Mr. Meeseeks.
Yes.
What's interesting about From Hell, so the reason why he does what he does is because he's curious, right? Mm-hmm. But the reason why he's sent out to kill the 4 specific prostitutes, like we know in history, in this take, the Queen calls upon him to get rid of some people who know a very ugly, ugly rumor about, bastards. And the bloodline can't be publicly known that it's been tainted. So he sends this monster out to do his bidding. He's just like this, whatever my majesty needs, your queen, I'll do whatever you want. She doesn't know that he's literally a monstrosity of a dude.
Here I go killing again.
Yeah, literally. But the queen is the reason why these 4 women were brutally murdered and mutilated, is because she wanted a very ugly, quote unquote, ugly rumor to be squashed.
That sounds like Alan Moore.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds very Alan Moore.
Yes, Alan Moore has such a contempt for fascism, for authoritarianism.
He identifies as an anarchist.
Oh, yeah, straight up anarchist.
Yeah.
Because when you read Watchmen, From Hell, V for Vendetta, you know this guy hates authoritarian, not just authority, but authority, because he's a father, so he's an authority figure, but he just hates authoritarianism. He hates totalitarianism. He hates dictators. I mean, he is such an extremist on that he's gone to say, I think it was last year, he said in a quote, like, the way Americans consume comic book hero media and like talk about it is such a fascist, is so fascist that it's disgusting. Yeah, that's what he thinks. That's his level of extremity towards hating fascism.
It's amazing, like, the more he talks about his past work, because like he was like he wrote Superman comics, he wrote Batman comics, he wrote like DC stuff.
He's a DC man. Hell yeah, DC for life.
DC guy, but then the way he talks about like the type of work that he used to do, he has like such contempt for it.
Yeah.
And like Watchmen was like the first shot fired. Yeah, actually I think the stuff is kind of bad.
No,
I think superhero comics are bad, guys.
Read V for Vendetta. Don't even watch the movie. Just read his. Oh, we go, Jesus. But when you read From Hell too, you're like, yeah, this guy. We don't really know the thing about. Okay, Jack the Ripper. No one knows. No one. It's like the Zodiac Killer. No one fucking knows, and we never will. But the fact that in his interpretation, the reason why these women were killed in the first place is because of the Queen keeping something quiet under the rug. To preserve the bloodline. It's like, dude, you made this up, but you're already saying fuck the Queen. And think about that though. It's just like, dude, like even I'm like, did anyone like come at you with a lawsuit? Like when this first came out, I'm like, dude.
Well, it's Queen Victoria. She's
right. But just the overallness of just hating royalty and tyrants.
He is so beyond. No one would ever think to go after Alan Moore.
I know, but it makes you
no
think
one ever wastes that energy.
It's just the way you think. I know that, but it made me think it because this is his interpretation, and the first thing is just basically like, fuck the Queen.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck, dude, like right out of the blue, damn. Read From Hell. I'm gonna finish it and I'll bring back my final review. I'm still reading Cthulhu, which annoys the fuck out of me. I don't know where people get all this like Cthulhu, bro. I'm like, this dude. It was written by some fucking just oddly well-spoken racist. There's nothing to Cthulhu. There really isn't. I'm gonna get to the Mountains of Madness next, but still reading it, I am not impressed.
Okay.
I am not impressed by the Cthulhu hype, even that what South Park did with it.
Okay.
And the video games Call of Cthulhu and like the Lovecraftianness of even the first Hellboy movie with Ron Perlman. Mm-hmm. What I'm reading from H.P. Lovecraft is not impressing me.
Is it
at all?
Could it be like
it's well written? Well written. That's it.
Could it be like you've seen so many things that were inspired by Lovecraft's work that were like really great in their own right that when you read the original thing, it's just so dull and tame?
It's not even tame. It's just dull.
It's like so basic.
Well, it makes you think. You know what it is? I think you're right because it makes me think, where did all of that come from this?
I'm not saying this is a bad movie or I hate it or anything, but it's kind of like how I feel when I watch The Matrix. We
still got to finish it together, by the way.
All the Matrix, yeah.
But I know what you're talking about. I know exactly because we talked about this when we watched it.
So many things have been inspired by the Matrix and have come out of
Ripped
the Matrix
off.
that like the bullet time effect is not. I
know.
think my first exposure to bullet time was probably on Smallville because Smallville used that a lot with the slow mo, super speed.
Oh God, that's so.
But like it's so ubiquitous now.
I think what it is. I'm glad you said that. I think the thing about the Matrix. It's a good movie only in the fact that you actually had to watch it either when it came out or you had to watch it before. Because when I watched it, I was 10. So it was 2004 when I first watched it. That was my first R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I think I was 7. I wasn't 10. I was like 7. So this must have been 2001. I was born in 94. So I honestly think I watched it before Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And the thing about when you watch The Matrix, I think everyone had to watch it before, and it's weird to say it, before 2001. It's weird. You can't watch it post 9/11 because the movie is so wow when you first see it. But when you see other things that's been inspired by it, and then you go first to watch it, you have this like the fuck doll like whatever moment because bullet time has been so egregiously diluted in what bullet time is.
Yeah.
Because bullet time in the Matrix is to show you that we're only doing slow-mo to show you how fast they're moving. It's used for that purpose.
He's avoiding the bullets faster
because his mind is free.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's like cool, stylized motion.
Well, it's not even bullet time. It's just slow motion, like the way Zack Snyder uses it,
or any other movie that does the "I'm gonna try to save you" jump, like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, it's less interesting when it's just people moving in real time, but you're seeing it slower.
It's the only modern movie after The Matrix that does slow-mo right, I think, is 300, only because it's from a comic book that's stylized. And you watch 300, the slow-mo makes sense. After that, like even Watchmen, I'm like a little much on the slow-mo, but I'm okay with it. But it is because you brought up Zack Snyder. That's it. After that, because The Matrix, the original trilogy, because I will never talk about the fourth one. Fuck that film. And you and I still have to finish the other two.
Yeah.
When you watch the Matrix trilogy, and I will say trilogy until the day I fucking die.
Yes.
The bullet time is in slow-mo is used where it's like, yeah, we're just showing you they're moving this fast. We can't catch up. It's like your frame rate. You can't catch up to it, so we have to force slow it down for you to play the video game. And I know we got to watch the Matrix still. That's something on our list.
But yeah, it's like it's like imagine little kids like they grew up in Marvel movies, and then you show them the original Star Wars, and then they're like, "That's it." They start on the desert planet, they go to the space station planet, and then like 5 space fighters shoot at the thing and blows up. That's the movie.
And the lightsaber duel is nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say it amounts to nothing because it's like kind of a distraction, and
But there's nothing movement wise.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the Mustafar scene. It's certainly not any of the lightsaber
It's not the Duel
scenes.
of Fates. It's nothing. It's nothing basically.
It's nothing you see in the Disney movies or TV shows.
The original trilogy lightsaber duels were about the dialogue, not the fight. Because they were the villain and the hero were talking,
and they didn't have like martial arts choreographers or stuntmen.
No,
it was just the actors swinging lightsabers around,
and it had to be two-handed. Remember, that was Lucas's big thing. It all had to be two-handed. Had to be 2 hands on the sword the entire time.
Yes, yeah, they were full on.
It was like full on broadsword knights,
samurai swords,
and samurai swords like that. Yeah, and yet. We know in real life some samurais also just one-handed it too. But no, Lucas was very adamant on both hands on the sword because Mark Hamill came up with some of his own choreography for the second and third movie. Like, hey, can we try? He's like, no.
Yeah, it has to be 2 hands.
It has to be 2 hands. That's it. Well, I know, but like I've been working out. No. What else? This is what happened a lot too. I mean, this is more personal. My oldest is full on talking, and my youngest can full on walk. Your godson's walking.
Yeah.
Oh, and my youngest still loves anything in burrito form. He'll just eat the hell out of it. He ate half a carne asada burrito with the seasoning, the cilantro, the onions, and the rice.
He's like Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne had like a weird obsession with burritos. He'd just make everything into
Both
a burrito.
my kids are Ozzy Osbourne. One talks like him in the nice tone, and the younger one just eats like burritos.
I downloaded like a greatest hits soundtrack for Black Sabbath.
Oh, after his passing?
For Sabbath and Ozzy.
Because after his passing, yeah. I love how Peacemaker trailer used one of his songs after his death.
Oh, I didn't even watch the trailer for Peacemaker. I still got to watch it.
No, yeah, they use one of Ozzy. My favorite Ozzy song is obviously Mama, I'm Coming Home and Love Patient Number 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, sorry. No, Patient Number 9.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? And no more tears. I found the shit he did to himself. He snorted ants, the fucking thing with the bat, all the drugs. Just wow.
Yeah.
He was too metal for fucking Black Sabbath. They kicked him out.
I listened to like when I was listening to the early Black Sabbath tracks on the road trip. A lot of it just sounds like 70s blues too. I mean, because it's like, okay, arguably the first metal band. Well, there's no sort of precedent on what metal was supposed to sound like. Thrash didn't exist yet, and death and black metal. Arguably, they invented black metal, but in the end, you're still, if you're starting something new, you're still riffing off of something that came before in some way. So it's like, okay, it's sort of, there's a lot of blues rock in there.
Oh yeah,
and the sounds that I now associate with metal, a lot of that is clearly not fully, like, they're still pioneering, they're still inventing, they're still working out. Made for an interesting experience. And then I don't know, then my soundtrack switches over to Ghost, which I don't know, some people might say that's a bad example of metal, but
it's part of it's part of the branch and of the tree of metal. Well, here's the thing. Do you know who is considered the godfathers of metal, who actually really started the inspiration for it? Hey, hey, mama, getting the way you move.
Led Zeppelin.
Yep, it's Zeppelin.
Yeah, some also say Led Zeppelin was like the first metal band.
Well, they're the ones who like started the feel because they're metal fans reckon it. They're like this, calm down, guys, we're not that. But it's like, no, like when you listen to some of their songs, you're like, it's there. The spirit
Yeah.
Basically, the embers are starting to burn.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get Black Sabbath just pouring oil on it. Like, we'll figure out now.
Yeah, well, Black Sabbath added like kind of a Halloween quality or like a theatrical thing. Like the the very first song in their first album is called Black Sabbath, and it's about like finding out you're about to be sent to hell. It's talking about like Satan is laughing at me. I'm like, ooh, okay, that's lyrically that's metal. And they did that in 1970.
When you evolve Satan, you're like, metal's great. Everyone, you get a chance, listen to all kinds of metal, death metal, heavy metal, screamo, black metal, heavy metal. Hell, Adult Swim, Metalocalypse. Watch that show. Fuck.
I'm working my way through, like, starting to get into more metal, figuring out what albums to put on my phone and whatnot.
There's Viking metal. Look into that.
There's Viking metal, yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. Yeah, the cool thing about the Ghost concert is like you get to there's like people wearing t-shirt. It's the t-shirts. That and the costumes, because there's a lot of cosplay at Ghost concerts because of what the band looks like in concert. And so it kind of reminds me of going to Comic-Con too. That's really nice. But otherwise, it's the t-shirts. Either wearing the band t-shirts or they're wearing like a t-shirt for another metal band that they saw.
Yeah.
Which kind of legitimizes Ghost as a metal group, because it's like, okay, this is your scene. But one thing I also noticed, and maybe this is the case in other metal concerts, but what I noticed a lot, there's a lot of like girls that brought their boyfriends or women who brought their boyfriends, and that's the dynamic because it's the women who are like singing along. There's a girl sitting. Women. I'm sure they're all grown women. There's a grown woman. She's wearing like a nun costume.
Fuck yes.
But, like,
she's dressed as a penguin.
It wasn't like the full garb, but it was suggestive of a nun.
Yeah, penguins at the metal.
And she had a boy. She had a guy sitting with her. Not sitting. We weren't sitting. We were. Nobody was sitting. We were all standing up the whole time. But she had a guy that was with her, and she was like hands up in the air, singing along. Praise be to Papa and Lucifer, and her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's just kind of like nodding along, and they're like, "All right, we know whose idea this was."
Yeah. Hey, when a nun is at a metal concert, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, nuns get down.
But then, so it's like a lot of that. I'm thinking, I would think for most metal concerts, it's the other way around, where the guy brings their girlfriend to it, and they're like rocking out, and the girl's like, "Yeah, honey, yeah." He introduced me to the. It's also great. There was a guy in front of me. He must be like in his 70s. He had long gray hair.
Yeah, fuck it.
He's lucky. He looks lucky enough to still be able to stand without a cane.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, He's been doing this shit
for a
years.
while.
And he was like rocking out. His long gray hair is waving. That was cool. That was such great experiences.
To tie it a little bit with Superman, and this is a deep cut for this is a deep cut for anyone who has seen a lot of Superman. I have a question for you. I think sorry, what?
You haven't seen it, so
no.
You're not talking about punk rock.
I've seen something else though. What do you think is a band that'd be a great little taste for someone to slowly get into the metal culture? What do you think is? I got a band name already, but what do you think? Just to for someone who's really like, I need to gradually get into it. What would be a good slow start? What do you think? It's a hint. It has it's something to do with Superman.
3 Doors Down?
Getting close. You're getting close. You're getting close. You're getting close. Blow up the outside. Blow up the outside. Blow up the
is
outside.
it Soundgarden?
Yeah. Because it's just this whole conversation because we talked so much about Superman, and I'm thinking about one of the greatest TV fights ever was the Doomsday Superman season 3 finale.
Of Superman and Lois.
Soundgarden is a great way for anyone to slowly make their way through the metal. Soundgarden is the shit. Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. Here comes the rooster. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta add that. I'll add that.
Because metal's a big tree. Metal really has
a really big tree.
It's a big non-leafy tree.
Like you know what I started listening to, or what I like started looking up again. Remember Dragon Force?
Oh god, yeah.
Oh god. Or I should say, remember Guitar Hero 3? I was listening through Fire and Flames, and I listened to a couple other stuff, but it's like they are considered like the top 4 of power metal.
Yeah.
And another top 4 of power metal would be Sabaton, which is basically like it is metal for history teachers, because all their songs are about war, historic battles, historic war figures. But it's like and they're like they're not like top 40 mainstream, but they're like considered like a mainstream act in the metal scene. I'm just imagining like if I had a history teacher who was into Sabaton and he just like play a song that ties into the lesson. And apparently there's a lot of, you go in the YouTube comments, there's a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, my history teacher was like that.
Metal is universal. Metal really is universal. The entire metal genre for music is, you could really connect it with everything. It's great. Metal is needed. Mm-hmm. Like every genre of music, but metal.
We need more rock bands to hit top 40 again.
Remember what you said?
Not just metal, but rock bands in general.
Remember what, like, it's like what you said. I don't know how many episodes back. It's like, where are the bands? Not star names, not artist names.
Where are the rock bands? It's like what FD Signifier said in one of his videos. And if you don't know him, he's another YouTuber that talks about like black culture things. He said, "White people, where are the rock bands? Where are the rock bands, white folks? Stop listening to Drink and bring back the rock bands."
I feel like Greta Van Fleet's the only quote-unquote rock band right now, but you barely hear them because they're not that...
They're like a legacy act at this point,
yeah,
right?
Basically.
Yeah.
And their last greatest hit, Here Comes the Master, is just like, yeah, no, once again, like their first album, it's just Zeppelin, The Lost Tapes. It really is. Nothing again. It's not downing them. There's nothing to down when you're a reference to that. Mm-hmm. But when you put in their very first album, I forget what the album's called. It's like By the Fire or Smoke and Ash. It's like something involving a bonfire, but it's like By the Fire. Mm-hmm. I think that's the album. I could be wrong. It's literally just like, it sounds like the Lost Tapes of Zeppelin. I showed it to my Nino once. I bought it specifically for my Nino and me after one of our days working together at the apartments. Mm. And we listened to the whole album heading home, and he's just like, I swear to God, this is fucking the Lost Tapes of Zeppelin. And I'm like this, I know, right? He's like this is good. And the thing is, one of their most famous songs is the Savari song and Highway Tune. And there's nothing wrong. It's great. From the Fires. That's the album. From the Fires. Yeah. That whole album is great. And this is not a knock to them, but it's literally Zeppelin, The Lost Tapes, and I think that's the only rock band I can think of right now, except for the National they're touring, but they're not rock at all. They're alternative. I love the National, but yeah, there's no rock band. Here's what you know what it is? There's no 4 dudes on stage just jamming.
Yeah, or that's not hitting like, you know,
theatrical presence and
like,
lights.
There's none of that's hitting like Kiss FM.
No.
A mainstream radio, like a top 40 radio.
There's no 4 dudes just on stage jamming out and just, fucking just rocking out and shit. Like back then. Like The Who, Zeppelin, even the Beatles.
Yeah. They're out there. They're just not as big as they used to be.
Yeah, they're not going to be like Taylor Swift or Olivia Rodrigo or The Weeknd or...
Lainey Wilson is like...
Fucking crap. I still get that. Sometimes I don't get that. Or Post Malone, and who's the other guy? Jelly Roll, which still boggles my mind. I mean, at least Brothers Osborne sounds like a band name, like the Allman Brothers. Yeah. At least. But what do they got? Just the skeletons in my closet. I don't like country. Okay, fuck it.
Well, I got to see a good concert over my vacation.
It's hard to see when you see a concert nowadays. It's always a good experience.
Yeah,
go see a good. I haven't seen a concert since my second year of college.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw Muse for that anti-war album they did.
Okay, yeah,
that was a good concert because they just brought out the hits after 4 songs from the album. I'm like, great. To me, I'm like this. Oh, you guys finally watched Full Metal Jacket. Good for you. Break out the good shit.
Yeah,
dude, Madness live. But I haven't seen. I want to go to a concert. I don't know who to see. Who knows? Maybe something will tickle me soon. Be great. I would love to go to a concert.
Sometimes it could just be as simple as like finding a bar.
That's what I wanted. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You
like
actually
a live
read my
music
mind.
bar, and it's like an act that you've never heard of, and then you just be like, I mean, you go to your wife, ask your parents to watch the kids, be like, hey, do you want to go see some band at a bar? I hear there's food there.
The only live music I have seen is my dad's band. You've been there.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just, and they're awesome because it's just they're a great cover band of classic rock music. But it's like, yeah, I haven't seen anyone big famous in like a long time, and it's like I want to do that. I got to find something and honestly, I would like to just go to like a heavy metal band.
It feels good. It feels good. I need to do it more often. I need to do the other bands besides Ghost.
My cousin goes to a lot of concerts. She saw Taylor Swift in Toronto, like recently.
Mm-hmm.
She said it was amazing. I'm like, you know what? I like Taylor Swift's Folklore album and Evermore sister album.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good albums.
Yeah.
Fucking, those are great. Oh, Mirror Ball put my sons to sleep so quickly in a good way.
Yeah.
Oh God, Mirror Ball is so great. I would recommend you listen to that one. I've been doing a lot. Honestly, while you were gone and you traveled, I just did a lot of just chilling with the boys and family. They love Big Bang, so Big Bang's on every day.
Mm-hmm.
Watching what I can watch without them.
Yeah, I haven't been catching up on any of my shows.
Oh, dude, Rick and Morty was great. Rick and Morty was great.
I'll say one more thing to close it out. If you ever find yourself in Vegas to see like a Raiders game,
Go Raiders.
That stadium, because our hotel was by the stadium,
yeah,
the Allegiant Stadium. That place is I didn't go inside, obviously, but like that place is a fucking unit. I love that like you can. It's just like a wide cylinder, and you feel like you get the full grasp of what it is like all around, the way that you don't feel that with other stadiums. It's just a whole fucking unit, and then that screen. There's like a screen that's showing you like promotional images and stuff. It's like a billboard, like
and
an
it's in walking distance. I hear from almost every hotel. Like the majority of hotels, it's a good walking distance.
Yeah, it's just an incredible venue. And I think like I wouldn't mind going to that, going to a game in there. It's just that walking in Vegas is like walking inside a baked potato,
without the humidity.
No, that was the amazing thing. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it can be 9 p.m. and still be 100 degrees outside. We went to Austin. It's humid, but like 90 is about as high as it went, and we spent a lot of time in the pool. But you have that humidity, and it's like, my God, I have never felt so happy to be in this type of weather. Go to Houston, humidity is like way worse. Yeah. But compared to Vegas, you don't feel like you're cooking. You actually feel moisture on you as you walk. And also, unlike Vegas, Austin and Houston have culture.
Vegas is just about gambling and titties.
It's about just like material excess, and after a while, it's like I only want to do things that just happen to be in Vegas.
When you go to Vegas, you have to have a plan. You can't organic
like,
Vegas.
I only want to go for Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I don't want to go for anything. Even like eating good food felt bad.
Oh, of course, that's the point.
It didn't feel like. Not like it made me feel sick. Well, okay, I think I had some tri-tip that gave me like some like
gastro
like acid reflux
and
stuff.
Yeah.
But it felt hollow.
Yeah.
Like eating barbecue in Vegas felt hollow compared to eating barbecue at Austin. At least in Austin, it felt like this is culture. This isn't just food. This isn't just good food. This is culture. This is integral to the place. By eating this, I am learning something, part of the Texas experience. In Vegas, it's like, here's some good food that you paid good money for, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the money.
When you go to Vegas, you have to have a plan. Like, you're going to Vegas for a reason.
Yeah.
Austin, hell, anywhere else in the American country, you can go, but organically be anywhere. It's organic. You can literally be like, let's just walk down here. Let's just go here. Vegas is like, okay, I'm here for this show, this game, and to gamble. Like, I'm dot itinerary. That's what you need for Vegas.
Yeah, the gambling. I mean, the abundance of gambling everywhere.
Yeah.
It kind of like walking through we walked through a couple of hotels just for shits and giggles, not just the Rio, which is where STLV was. There's so much gambling shit, and after a while, it actually started to kind of weigh heavy on me, where I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to leaving tomorrow. Like, it's kind of like if you're not in it for the gambling and you don't really respect the gambling, why are you there? You feel like there's a part of me that felt kind of sick from it.
Nothing to
And the heat didn't help.
But to combat that, I bet the people who are running and operating in Vegas, that's why a lot of sports teams are going there. That's why the A's will be going there. That's why the Raiders are there. That's why there's the Golden Knights. That's why there's a WNBA
Las Vegas
team.
Aces. And there'll probably be an NBA team
soon
there before we know it.
I thought the Clippers would go there. I'm just saying, like, that thing about it, Vegas is going to be a big sports town outside of shows, outside of experiences, how, like, Blue Man Group and what's that, the Zumanity, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the big attraction destination, but you need an itinerary there. If you go to Austin, you can be like, I'm just going to Austin for a few days, and you'll have a lot to do.
Oh, it's the weekend?
You don't need a plan.
I'll just go to 6th Street. And then hang out in 6th Street, go to bars.
It's like here. It's like if you went to San Diego, there's a bar town. There's a street.
Those bars with live music, and you can just walk in.
It's like the equivalent of...
And it's great.
It's the equivalent of Long Beach's 2nd Street. You can just go there, park.
Hell yeah.
You'll have fun.
Yeah.
You'll find something to do.
And
Vegas, you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's it. If I went to New York, I don't have to plan. I'll just find something to do. Yeah. It's New York.
Even walking around, like Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh,
LA.
we went for your bachelor party. We went.
Yeah.
We only had one spot.
And that's like it's a pretty gross area if we're going to be really
fucking gross.
But
here's the thing. We only went for one thing to eat food before the game, the Dodger game.
Yeah.
But look what happened. We found organically, like, hey, let's just walk around. We went to the Kevin Smith Star Wars bar.
Yeah, we stumbled upon that. And it just feels, it feels organic. It feels like, okay, this is...
I met those 3 guys literally from Dublin. Remember that? I was talking to those 3 dudes from Dublin. It's not for everyone. I love Vegas, but it's not for everyone. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You need to have a plan when you go. I want to take my boys there when they're older because it's so... Here's the thing. It used to not be so family friendly. It is very family friendly now.
Uh-huh.
So that's what's nice. It's very more cleaned up in the sense of, like, yeah, your kids can walk around and there won't be so many, half-naked showgirls with their titties out.
Yeah.
Or like the prostitute flyers.
Yeah.
So it's cleaned up a lot. That's what's nice. It is become more family friendly. You need a plan, because other than that, it's like it is. From what I remember as a kid, it was a little like if you mill around, it's like, are we milling around? Or are we going somewhere? Oh, we're going somewhere. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to go back though. I do want to go. I want to see a Raider game there. For sure.
Yeah. Hopefully maybe they'll win.
Hey,
you never know.
First season there, they got to the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah. And then they fired the coach.
Yeah. They did a lot of other stupid shit.
Fingers crossed for Pete Carroll.
If this
the ship
this season, if it's at least just the second round.
Yeah.
To me, I believe in like the Mike Scioscia mentality of just consistency with a slow build.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you got to do it.
Yeah.
You have to have consistency with a slow build, and everything will be fine.
Meanwhile, I'm excited for my Rams because I think it'll be a good year for us. I think the team is very solid. I think we were the only team that came the closest to stopping the Eagles from going to the Super Bowl or winning the Super Bowl. I concede. I don't concede. I will fight this point that we were the second best team in that playoff. So I'm feeling really good about the Rams. 49ers, they gave away like half their team to pay their quarterback. So they're going to struggle. I'm feeling good about playing against them.
Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers.
Yeah, and I'm just talking about.
I'm just saying, like, it's the stuff that's happening is just funny.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about the NFC West, like the Seahawks. I don't know what's going on with the Seahawks. They're like mid, super mid, and then like, oh god, what's the other team? I feel like. Is there is a who's in the NFC West that's not in the AFC West? I'm getting them mixed up. I'm not a good fan.
There's a lot of fans. There's a lot of teams. To me, there's still a lot of teams. That's why I just stick to the Raiders.
I'm feeling good about the Rams this year, and
I'm thinking the Raiders at least will get at least to the second round. That's just all I want because the next season you build from that.
Yeah.
I'm being realistic because it is sometimes tough to be a Raider fan, like an Angels fan. It's tough. That's why I bask in the glory of those 2 consecutive sweeps.
You're just known as being passionate. You're not delusional like the Cowboys fan base is.
Speaking of the Cowboys, I look forward to talking about King of the Hill because I love how Bobby's girl hates Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm with her. Fuck Jerry Jones. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude. I love when South Park makes fun of him. Got those fucking chameleon bug eyes. Fuck that dude.
That guy.
Fuck him.
Yeah. That guy needs to die. That guy needs to die for the sake of all that is good in the
All
NFL.
that is good and glorious about football. About the pigskin.
Yeah.
Oh, and my wife, for the final thing, just what happened.
Okay.
Because you haven't had it. My wife has this awesome dish she made up. It's called white trash enchiladas.
Ooh.
You got to try it.
I really want that now. That sounds great.
It's so good. It's literally just tortillas with cans of chili. It can be any chili. We use turkey chili, though.
Yes.
And it's a hot dog, beef hot dog, all beef hot dog in the middle, wrapped with chili and a ton of cheese. Dude, let me tell you. Oh, so good. So good. My oldest has a little bit of some food aversions. My youngest, I swear to God, you give him a dead possum, he'll eat the fucking thing.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, Hudson eats. Hudson eats. And he eats, no complaints, just give it to me. Thomas is just a little like, can I have that? Don't like. Like, you know what I mean? Like every kid's like that. But it's just funny. The youngest one, I give him a dead possum. He'll eat that son bitch. You'll eat that son bitch up.
I guess that's our private life August.
To a degree, private life, yeah.
Musings, catch up. Kind of stayed away from the politics, even though there's
it's coming, folks.
There's some things we want to get to.
And we'll definitely be talking private for our private life because Resident Evil 9 had its gameplay trailer and it was awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, the flashlight takes up a weapon slot.
Oh, shit.
And you have to craft your save files.
Oh, no!
So, ladies, yeah, that was our little private, life talk. We shot the shit. And don't worry, episodes to come, we have a lot of stuff to talk about news-wise. I just want nachos and beer when I watch the news. But that's us, folks. I'm Tom.
I'm Travis.
Thank you for joining us on this fun special edition of Give Us the Launch Codes. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Bye, everyone.